Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Nat. Thank you all so much for joining me. Today I invite you to get ready with me, because I kind of have a mishmash of new to me products to test out. For those of you who watched my K-Beauty video, you might remember that this shade 25N Mocha of the Tier Mask Fit Red Foundation was super yellow on me. Even though 25N Mocha is my normal shade in other Tier products, mainly the cushion foundations, the red one and the pink one, but I discovered that I love the finish on it. And even though I can still make this work by using a little bit of lavender powder, I decided to try out 25C Cool Taupe. Mainly because I picked this up a couple months ago on YesStyle and it was 40% off. So I thought, why not? Let's test it out. Okay, so I just pumped some out onto the back of my hand. This is the 25C Cool Taupe. That looks not so yellow, right? And then for comparison, just to show you guys, this was the 25N Mocha. This supposedly being a neutral is quite yellow. All right, let's get it on the face. I'm just going in with a BK Beauty 116 and let's start in the center of the face. Any of you guys have this foundation? And have you experienced the same kind of thing? I've never ever owned or used a cool foundation before. I'm thinking worst case, if it is too cool or peachy or something like that, we can just maybe add a little bit of the 25N Mocha shade. Because my eyebrows are done, I've just switched to the LC01 from Refer. So how's everyone doing today? Summer's just around the corner. On screen, I think it looks kind of okay. In my mirror, it's a little bit peachy. But actually, you know what? I don't know when this video is gonna go up. It might already be summer by the time this video goes up. This past weekend, Saturday was my husband's birthday, and I took the day off so that we could go watch He-Man, the new He-Man movie, Masters of the Universe. Any of you guys He-Man fans? Did you grow up watching He-Man? A lot of people think the movie was just for him, but I actually grew up playing He-Man, watching He-Man with my brother, my older brother. But every time we got into anything, he's always the hero. And it started out with me always being the villain, but then I realized that I actually prefer the backstories, the colorings almost of the villains anyway. Okay, let's talk about this foundation just for a second. I feel like the color is like slightly off. So this is 25N Mocha, and let's gently mix in a bit of this shade to kind of neutralize the peach, I think. But yeah, so I also watched Transformers and played Transformers with my brother, and he was always the Autobots, and I was always the Decepticons. But I love Skeletor. Oh, and Darth Vader. But Skeletor was my favorite growing up. My mom got us each the castles. So my brother got a castle of Grayskull, and I had Skeletor's lair or castle, or I don't remember what it's called. But mine came with this cool like voice changer. So when we discovered that, my brother was checking out his castle to see what awesome feature it had, but it didn't have anything. It was just the castle. Okay, but about the movie, it is perfectly cheesy. Like, if you grew up watching the cartoon, the He-Man cartoon, it's cheesy. It's from the 80s. 80s, right? I'm pretty sure. Very nostalgic. Like, if you're a He-Man fan, I think you'll enjoy the movie. Of course, it's not an Oscar-winning performance or anything, but it's very enjoyable. So yeah, on Saturday, my husband's birthday, we actually decided to take transit downtown. We live just outside of downtown, but parking's always crazy. Parking's crazy everywhere in Vancouver, actually. So we decided to take transit downtown, watched the movie, and then walked around Robson, Granville. Those are kind of like shopping streets in our downtown Vancouver. Bought some things. Of course, I popped in at Sephora. For those of you who don't know, Sephora on Robson in Vancouver is the largest Sephora in Canada. I think it's 9,500 square feet or something like that. It's even bigger than the flagship Sephora in Toronto. But actually, a new Sephora opened up in one of our malls called Oak Ridge recently, and I can't wait to go check it out. So like I was saying, we did a little bit of shopping. Not a lot. We mainly just like walked around because it ended up being a beautiful sunny day. Not too warm though, but it was previously raining for a few days in a row. So it was lovely that the sun came out for us. See, this is the shade that I pulled down my neck, the 25C Cool Taupe, and it's wrong, right? So let's put some of the yellow stuff on there. I feel like that just made it worse. Okay, now my neck's irritated. I tried to wipe it off. Now it's irritated. That's why it's red. Okay, so I like the shade better mixed together, but that is kind of annoying if you have to mix two shades together to get your actual shade, especially because Tier has so many shades. Like I get it, with some foundation lines, you're gonna have to mix a couple of shades together to get your true match. But with a line that has lots of shades, a wide range of shades, that's when I think it's kind of annoying that you still have to mix a couple together. At least Tier foundations are on the more affordable side. And at least now we know. If you're a shade twin with me and you also found that the 25N Mocha in the red foundation was a little too yellow, opting for the cool is not the answer. Because again, you still have to kind of mix it together. So again, using a lavender setting powder or adding just a touch of purple, any kind of purple, in concealer form or color corrector form to your foundation before you apply it, that should also work. For eyeshadow, I picked up from Rare Beauty the Essential Neutrals eyeshadow palette. This started out as an Ulta exclusive, but here in Canada, we don't have Ulta. So when I was actually ordering my tan palette from Natasha Denona, I saw that Sephora Canada had this on their app, so I picked it up because I've heard such great things about this palette. And of course, I wanted to try it for myself. It's an eyeshadow palette of everyday neutrals in matte and metallic finishes with a smooth, creamy, easy to blend formula that lasts. This is what it looks like. I heard that the formula is pretty impressive, and I've never tried eyeshadow from Rare Beauty, so I'm pretty excited to try this out, even though it's a pretty neutral palette. But if you guys know me by now, I do appreciate a good neutral palette. Let's swatch it. First up, we have Pastel Peach. That feels nice. Evening Espresso. You guys know I love a deep matte brown. Shimmering Sands. This is creamy. Maroon Mood. Caramel Cream or Creme. Timeless Taupe. Oh, that's actually really pretty. It's a lot more gray looking in the pan. Sunlit Spritz. And lastly, we have Finest Fizz. Here are the shades of the Rare Beauty Essential Neutrals palette in different lighting. Alright, let's start off with this shade, Caramel Creme, and a ref for 33. So my husband turned 45, and now we're the same age. Technically, we're a year apart, but because I'm born in December, we're actually only 6 months apart. So for 6 months of the year, he calls me his old lady. And then for the other 6 months for the same age. For those of you who don't know, my husband is also my editor. Just switching to a BK Beauty 206 to soften this edge. Because this shade actually came out a little bit more pigmented than I thought it was going to be. I'm super grateful to my husband for continuing to edit my videos, even though he was actually the one who encouraged me to start this channel. And then it's just become something that we do together. It's actually helped with our communication, because with discussing videos, you have to communicate. I mean, we talk a lot. We're that couple where we tell each other everything, talk about everything, talk through everything. But I'm not gonna lie, it took a lot of hard work for the both of us. We've been together almost 21 years. But this year is our 20th wedding anniversary. I don't know if I've said this before, but we actually got married at 9 months when we were both 25. And everyone was so shocked when we told them that we're getting married. I think a lot of them thought we were too young. We didn't know each other long enough, you know, that kind of thing. But here we are, 2 decades later, 2 teenagers. And throughout our journey together, we're on our 3rd and 4th dog. Our first 2 have passed away a while ago now. We started out with 2 Shar-Peis, Diego and Dante. They were 2 boys. And now we have our 2 Frenchies that are 2 girls, Devin and Daphne. In case you guys were wondering, our kids also have D names. Next, let's go in with Maroon Mood. And I'm just using a Morphe M433. Let's just pop this in the outer corner. So back to Saturday. After we were walking along Robson, the major shopping street downtown, we walked all the way down to Denman, which is a street that kind of takes us to the beach, to English Bay. If you guys aren't aware, Vancouver is on the west coast of Canada. So we have beaches. English Bay is one of 3 beaches in our Stanley Park. We had dinner there. I had raw oysters and an arugula quinoa salad, and my husband had a burger. We sat on the patio. It was really beautiful out. And as we were walking around downtown, we saw all the preparation for FIFA. FIFA's happening starting this weekend. June 13th, I think, is the actual start date. Any of you guys soccer or football fans? We're not really, but we're happy for the people who are in Vancouver to have this event come, although it's going to be super crazy here. And I actually have to keep that in mind because my daughter's birthday is at the end of June and she still hasn't decided what she wants to do yet, but I gotta remind her that downtown's going to be crazy. So whatever she wants to do needs to kind of be outside of downtown, or we just have to prepare for like lots of traffic. That's quite pretty. What do you guys think? And then after dinner, we walked up a hill on a different downtown street, kind of did like a loop around. Then we came back to like a central area in downtown and we had ice cream. Because I actually asked my husband like what kind of cake he wanted this year. And he told me that he didn't want a cake. So we didn't do cake this year. He didn't want to force our teenagers to sing him happy birthday. And yeah, it was just nice, just the 2 of us, because my husband's family is all back in Ontario. And usually we go out for dinner with my family, my parents or something like that. But just the timing of this year, we already had a different family dinner the following Sunday night. But realistically, it was just nice to go out, the 2 of us. We're finally at that stage in our lives where our kids are older, more independent. They don't need us for everything. We can do things on our own. But it's been like that for a few years now. Because like I said, our kids are both teenagers. Our son is turning 17 this year, and our daughter's turning 14 at the end of this month. And our son works now. He works usually on Friday nights and Saturday, late afternoon into the evening. So usually when we're on a date or something like that, we get our son to make sure our daughter has food. He's a little bit more independent. But then we discovered on our way home, we were on the bus, and then I texted my son letting him know we're on our way home. He quickly replied with, okay. And then I texted our daughter saying we're on our way home, and she replied with, oh, okay, I'm not home. So I asked her where she was, And she told me that she took herself out on an adventure day. She went walking around. And then at the time that I was texting her, she was having dinner by herself at McDonald's. She loves McDonald's. It's terrible, I know. Her friends kind of make fun of her, or not make fun of her, but they poke fun at her that she has the lifestyle of a slob. She loves McDonald's, but she also eats a lot of vegetables, so I guess that balances it out. And she's lucky she has my husband's metabolism, so she's super tiny, super skinny. But I keep reminding her that just be mindful, that might change one day. Alright, now let's deepen things up. I'm going to dip into Evening Espresso and an EO5 from Singe Beauty. So the McDonald's that my daughter was at is about a half an hour walk from our house. So I asked her if she wanted us to go home and pick up one of our vehicles and then go pick her up from McDonald's. And she said, no, it's okay. I'm having an adventure day. She kind of wanted to walk home. So then I asked her, do you want us to come meet you? We don't have to go home. We can come meet you and we'll all walk home together. And then she was into that. So we had to transfer buses, which wasn't difficult. And then we went and picked her up from McDonald's on foot and then all walked home. These eyeshadows are very easy to work with. I'm just taking longer than usual because I'm blabbing. Oh, I forgot. Actually, while we were shopping, I popped into our flagship MAC store, also on rom&nd. I haven't been there in such a long time. When I used to work downtown, this is quite a long time ago now, my friends who worked at MAC worked at that one. So on our breaks, whenever I'd have a gap between clients, a couple of us stylists would walk up to that MAC and kind of hang out. I had this one friend, I say had because sadly he passed away a couple of years ago, but every time I would pop in, he would grab me and he would say, Nat, sit down, because he wanted to look busy. I know that sounds so terrible. But when you've been working in the beauty industry, in the customer service industry, when you're constantly dealing with clients and customers or that kind of thing, sometimes you just want to chill. So he would grab me and he would say, like, let me do your makeup, even though I already had makeup on. And the different looks that I would go back to work with, some were awesome. Some were, what the heck? But that's the fun of it, right? I just dipped into Pastel Peach and I'm going to see how this works as an underbrow highlight. Pretty good. So yeah. A lot of makeup artists and hairstylists, like, were labeled as crazy. Because it takes a certain personality, I think, to be able to do what we do. Not in terms of skill, but it's like we have to have skill, know what we're doing, be knowledgeable, be personable. We're talking constantly with our clients. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But by the end of the day, it's pretty draining. So that's something that my husband never understood in the beginning of our relationship, because he used to come pick me up from work and he's excited to see me and he talks a lot himself. So he's like going a mile a minute, like telling me about his day, blah, blah, blah. And I always have to remind him, please, I need about half an hour of silence and then I'm good again. Because yeah, we just need some chill time. We just need some quiet. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. I'm just sharing the truths of being a hairstylist. And it's pretty much the same for makeup artists. I would wear this as an all matte look. Quite pretty. Although I think I need to blend this out a little bit more. Are any of you guys hairstylists or somehow in the beauty industry, estheticians, makeup artists? And do you guys know what I'm talking about? Because yeah, I've had many apprentices. I've trained many people at the start of their careers. And everyone thinks that they love doing hair, which they probably do. But to be an actual busy, functioning hairstylist, you have to have endurance. You have to like live for it. Because imagine this, you're doing a client and all of a sudden you're just not into it anymore. That can't happen. Thankfully, that has only ever happened to me one time. And it was because one of my friends came over to my house. This is when I was younger, pre-kids. But my husband and I were married already. But anyway, so we were having like a party and he sits down and says like, Nat, please cut my hair. And I kept saying, I'm like, no, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. And he was like, okay, come on, just give me a quick haircut. And maybe back then that was still the version of me that had a hard time saying no to people. So I started it. I did half of his haircut and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. So we kind of got into a little bit of a fight and he was like, what? You have to finish. And I'm like, I told you I wasn't into it. But of course I did finish his haircut. Now it's time for shimmer. Let's start off with the shade Sunlit Spritz. These metallics are really soft and smooth. Kind of feel like a satin. Oh, that's pretty though. I like it. And then for inner third, let's dip into Finest Fizz. Oh no, my nails are already on the too long side. But we kind of started out this set on the longer side than usual. That's quite pretty. Switching to a silicone brush or spatula just to finesse this inner corner. Smooth it out. I'm curious, what shows are you guys watching these days? Have any of you watched Off Campus? It's surprisingly good. I shouldn't say surprisingly, I just mean it's not really my age group. Maybe I'm reliving my youth. But I feel like all movies and shows that started off as books, just in general, are kind of better or almost like guaranteed to be pretty good. That is quite pretty, don't you guys think? I just want to go back in with a touch more of the Sunlit Spritz and kind of marry these two shimmers together. Oh, another hockey kind of show that was really good. It's old now, or older, but Heated Rivalry, I loved that. Any of you guys watch Heated Rivalry? And what did you guys think? In general, I like a pretty wide variety of genres for shows. Oh no, I think I went a little too far over on the side. Shows and movies. I usually have the taste of like a dude for shows. Like I love anything that is about motorcycle gangs or like any kind of like operational team, like whether it's Navy SEALs, like that kind of thing. But from time to time, I do enjoy a good romance story. Like currently, my husband and I are watching Dutton Ranch. Anybody else watching Dutton Ranch? In tandem with the Marshalls show, those are both spin-offs from Yellowstone. But for those of you who don't know, my husband works night shift, Monday through Thursday. So realistically, the only time that we have to watch shows together is on the weekends. So sometimes it takes us a while to get through shows and even movies. Oh, that's what we also watched this past weekend. We watched In the Gray, is that what it's called? With Henry Cavill and Jake Gyllenhaal, a Guy Ritchie movie. We both love Guy Ritchie movies. And yeah, that movie took us all 3 evenings to finish because I kept falling asleep. Let's re-intensify the outer corners. I kind of just covered and got rid of almost all of that maroon shade. Maybe I'll add some back. See if I can anyway. I'm pretty impressed. For the amount of kick up that there was in the pan, there's not a lot of fallout on the eyes. That's impressive. Now for concealer, I picked up a while ago the Patrick Ta Major Skin Soft Blur Brightening Concealer, and in the shade Light Neutral 1. And since picking this up, Patrick Ta has now landed himself in a bunch of trouble. I don't want to get into the details because I actually hate drama. Like, it's inevitable. Drama's all over the place. I just mean, I don't like getting caught up in the drama of things. But I will say, whenever there's money involved, ideas, products, potential money to be made, there is always drama, there is always backstabbing, there's always problems. So the human desire for everyone to treat each other with respect and with kindness kind of goes out the window, unfortunately. I was on the fence, honestly. That's pretty light. I think it was an undertone issue thing again. Like usual with these oh, that's quite light. Maybe blended out, it'll be okay. What was I saying? I was on the fence with this concealer for a while because I was not interested in trying out his foundation at all. It's too hydrating and I'm oily. But then I got curious. Blended out, it's not too bad. But I'm just gonna go over the edges with my foundation brush. That's pretty light, right? All right, let's see how we can make this work. But you know what? I think it's also the foundation combo that I have going on. It's not really my right shade. The foundation seems to have, did it oxidize since we started this video? I feel like maybe. Anyway. It's okay. As long as it's close enough, it's close enough. What were we talking about? Shows or something? Oh, we were talking about drama and Patrick Ta and money and blah, blah, blah. I can't believe it's summer already. I keep saying this, but time just keeps going by faster and faster. How do we feel about the finish on this concealer though? I think it's pretty good. I think I like it. It's weird. This is the first year that I'm experiencing like quite a bit of changes in my skin. I know I keep saying I'm oily. Like I used to be super oily and now I'm sure once it's like summer, I will get oily. But the interesting thing is I normally start getting oily in springtime. And this spring I've actually been on the dry side, or I haven't needed to do all the steps that I normally have to combat my oils or to prep my skin. Or like what I mean is I've barely used my oil sucker primer, which like I was saying, usually by springtime, I have to pull that out and start using it. And because I'm aging, my under eyes are starting to get quite dry, which just probably means I need to spend a little bit more time and effort on my skincare. And I'm overdue for a facial. I go for a facial every month, once a month, but just because of scheduling, I usually go like within the first week of the month. But this month, my appointment's not till next week, I think it is. All right, so here's the concealer. Not too bad blended out, right? I know when I first applied it, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so light. The finish on it, I quite like it. Of course, we have to see how it wears throughout the day for me to actually have a finalized opinion on it. But so far, so good. For bronzer, I have the new MAC Beam Bronzelighter, and I chose the shade Sunset. Let's just show you guys what Sunset looks like. I just picked that off my hands with Nikki's N18. So this formula is supposed to be like the blushes that they came out with. And I know I like that formula, so I wanted to try the bronzer version. Okay, let's start with one dot. I was considering picking up the new powder bronzer from MAC, but I have so many bronzers now. But this is quite pretty. What do you guys think? It blended out super seamlessly and easily. Is this even showing up? I can't tell. Like I can see it in my mirror. It's quite cool toned, right? But I think I like it. I think I went kind of high with my placement. Oh no, is it starting to look gray, you guys? Okay, let's keep blending and see. I'm just switching to a BK Beauty 109. Is it just me, or is this side looking a lot more cool tone than this side? You know what? Maybe some blush will help it out. I'm not too worried about it. For cream blush, we have a few options, and I'm actually not sure if I'm going to use any of these, but let's swatch these first. This is another shade in the Blurry Pudding Pot by Fui. It's the shade Without. This is what it looks like. This is not what I imagined the shade to be. It's quite pink. I feel like, especially with K-Beauty, the color swatches that they have, like the photos and stuff that go with the shades, they're never the same. They never look like... Blended out is quite pretty. On my husband's birthday, when we stopped in at MAC, I picked up 2 more shades of the Glow Play Cushiony blushes. This one is So Natural, and this one is Ginger Luck. Here's So Natural. Actually, it was my husband that chose this shade when I was swatching. He was like, this one. I love the formula on these blushes. Very subtle, right? But I thought this would be good for summer. Here's Ginger Luck. Same kind of tonal family, just a little bit deeper. Okay, so the reason why I said I'm not sure if we're going to use any of those shades of the cream blushes is because I actually have 3 shades of the new MAC Skin Finish Color Struck blushes. And these ones are all kind of like in the brownish family. And I really wanted to see how these ones perform on their own. But let's swatch these first. This one is Raising the Roof. Antique Velvet. And Film Noir Buff. Because yeah, I think I really want to just see how these shades show up. So for today, I'm sorry, but we're gonna pass on these ones. Actually, now that means we can set the face. I managed to get my hands on a pink shade of the Infallible Blurfection Loose Setting Powder from L'Oreal. I have the translucent one. My dear friend Christy was so kind to send it to me a few months ago, but I saw the pink option on Amazon one day and I ordered it immediately. So let's try this one out. I'm just going in with my Triangle Puff from Amazon. I don't know why I keep trying pink powders out. Like, especially in the loose form, I find them to not brighten my under eyes and in fact kind of darken them. Because yeah, see, I feel like that kind of darkened my under eyes. What do you guys think? I'm just adding a touch of the Pat McGrath Under Eye Skin Fetish something something powder. See, that's a bit brighter, right? Okay, so just like the translucent one, I do like this powder, like the formula of it, but I really dislike how hard it is to get the product out of the component. It's just like there's not enough holes. Okay, let's see how this pink powder performs on the rest of the face. I just feel like it takes forever to get product out of the container. I have to keep tapping over and over and over again. Okay, let's push that further in with Nikki's N14. And BK Beauty 102. Oh my goodness, you guys, I forgot my nose. I mean, like, I didn't put any of the MAC bronzer on my nose. Maybe we'll just leave it for now and I'll throw on a powder bronzer or something. Or actually, wait, let's see if this works over powder. Just using a Patrick Ta nose contour brush. I think it's working okay. I'll just repowder my nose. All right, let's finish up this eye look first. I'm going to go back in with Evening Espresso and a ColourPop E25. So far, I must say, I'm quite happy with this palette. I think it'd be perfect for travel. Oh yeah, so I was saying, the day after my husband's birthday, we went out for family dinner, like with my parents, my uncle, like my mom's younger brother, not my uncle that's in Palm Springs, and actually my mom's uncle and his family. He is unfortunately not doing so good health-wise. He's my grandma's younger brother. His wife was there, his son was there. His son is like closer to my age than my mom's age, even though they're cousins. Because my grandma was the eldest of 12 kids. So all of my mom's cousins are younger than her. But anyway, we had traditional, almost like banquet style Chinese dinner with king crab. King crab is my favorite. I love crab. My husband doesn't like seafood. He'll eat some things, but we had abalone, king crab. I already said that, I know. But that's just how much I love it. We had crab claws, which that's kind of deceiving because it's like a tiny crab claw and a big ball. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but it's like a big ball, but it's actually prawn meat. So I don't even know why it's called a crab claw. There's barely any crab in it. Tons of veggies, chicken, although I don't think I ate the chicken. Free range chicken. The cold plate usually freaks my husband and my son out. Well, not freak them out, but they're just not into it. The cold plate appetizer at your traditional Chinese dinner. If any of you guys have had that before, if you know what I'm talking about, you might not. Maybe your experience with Chinese food is like Panda Express, Manchu Wok, or like some kind of fast food. But Chinese food has so many variations. Like I'm actually Shanghainese, so even Shanghainese food is different than Cantonese food, than Szechuan food, than north, south, east, west, that kind of thing. But, so a cold plate has it has jellyfish. I love jellyfish. But growing up, we used to call them rubber bands because that's kind of what it looks like. We had two kinds of dessert. Oh, there was a fish too. A steamed fish. Yeah, tons of food. Always leftovers. Fried rice, lettuce wraps. Oh, because there's Beijing duck. My son, that's his favorite. He loves those duck wraps and the lettuce wraps. Noodles. Did I say that already? Huge feast. Because yeah, the purpose of the gathering was to spend time with my granduncle. I think that's how you say it in English. I call him something else, obviously, because I address him in Chinese. But that granduncle, he's the one that reminds me the most of my grandma. Looks-wise, speech-wise, super cute. Yeah, I'm a fan of this eyeshadow palette. I just did finishing touches to the eye look, and now we can go in with blush. I really want to try this shade. It's the Film Noir Buff. Again, it's the MAC Skin Finish Color Struck Blush. I'm just going to go in with an F05 from Singe Beauty. I actually got these blushes on Mother's Day. The kids wanted to go shopping after we had dim sum with the rest of the family, like my mom, my parents, my brother's family. And then I popped into MAC while we were at the mall. I quite like this. What do you guys think about this shade? I've been really into brown blushes lately. You know, switch it up from my normal neutral. But this is from the bronzer. But when you look at it like this, it looks good. Like, I really like how it looks from the front. So when you turn to the side, I think the issue is the bronzer. I don't think the bronzer mixed well with the base that's going on, whether it's the concealer or the foundation or the combo of the concealer and foundation together. But I'm kind of into this. What do you guys think? I forgot to mention that these blushes come in two finishes, a matte one and kind of like a, not shimmery, but like a radiant one. So this is Antique Velvet. This is what we just put on, the Film Noir Buff. I think I want to add a touch of this shade just to see. Let's keep that. Uh-oh. That was a little heavy-handed. Uh-oh. Hold on, let's try and diffuse this. Nikki's N20. Okay, it's getting better. Let's just use Nikki's N20 on this side from the start. This isn't new, it's just the YSL All Hours Hyper Finish Compact Powder. I'm just gonna try and soften it out. Is this working? I can't tell. Let's just leave it like that for now. Okay, the shades I think I am a fan of. I just need to try it another time with not this base. Maybe just try it with a little bit of a different combination of products and see how that works. Because I do, I like this. I don't have a new highlighter to use, but I'm not sure if I even use this on my channel yet or not. I got this, I think, in an Ipsy subscription. It's the Soft Glow Highlighter by Makeup by Mario, and it's the shade Pearl. I just want to stick some on my nose. Like that. And since the cheeks are kind of messed up anyway, let's see. For lips, I have this random lip mate pencil. Is that a typo? Is it supposed to be lip matte pencil or is it lip mate pencil? I'm not sure. But it's in the shade Taupey Shade and it's from rom&nd, a K-beauty brand. It's a twist up and this is what it looks like. All right, let's give this a try. Ah, that's pretty cool tone and ashy. Kind of goes with the ashy cool tone cheeks though, right? I actually kind of like that. Okay, I still haven't tried this yet. This is like the only thing makeup-wise that I purchased in Japan, and I can't even tell you what it is or what brand it is. It was some collab with Kamen Rider, something that my son grew up watching, and he noticed it. He thought it was cool, and I was with him when I picked this up. But yeah, I removed the packaging just to bring it home, and I forget what the brand is. That's actually quite pretty. It's quite wearable for me. I think on its own, without the lip liner, it might be too something, but it kind of neutralizes with the lip liner. Tones it down into something more up my alley, into something a little bit more wearable for me. That's quite pretty. But I have another lip gloss to try, so I've just relined my lips with the same lip liner that we used earlier. This formula is not new to me, but the shade is. It's the rom&nd Lasting Color Gloss. My favorite shade is Dim Mauve. This one is Deepen More. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe I'll swatch it for you guys first. Kind of like a pinky nude. I'm into this. What do you guys think? Here it is. This is the final look. I'll come in close. Different lighting. All right, so we've had some hits and some misses. Although I don't think any one of those products was an entire miss, I'm happy to discover, because I was really curious about this, that 25C Cool Taupe is not a direct replacement for 25N Mocha, the one that's a little bit too yellow. Mixed together, it seems to have worked out okay. Because yeah, like I was saying, I do enjoy the finish on this foundation. This eyeshadow palette by Rare Beauty actually super impressed me. It's great for travel for me. I think there's 2 more looks that I would like to try with this palette. Something using the taupe shade, and one look focusing more on the maroon shade. Oh, and there was one shimmer that I didn't use that could go with the maroon look. But yeah, the formula and the price point on this, it was, I don't remember what it was off the top of my head, but it was very reasonable. Easy to blend out, pigmented, soft, buttery, very impressive, very pretty. This concealer actually blended out okay. At first application, it was a little jarring because it was pretty light, but it blended out pretty nice. Again, we'll have to see how this wears throughout the rest of the day to have final thoughts on it, but I am happy to have tried it out. Okay, this bronzer, I'd like to try it again. I feel like it got weird in certain areas. It's okay because my hair is going to cover it right now, but I feel like it's not a product issue. I feel like it's a combination of other products mixed together. So this one I'm going to try again, and I hope to remember to report back to you guys, because this formula in general I quite enjoy, because I have a couple of the blush shades and I really like them. Again, I don't know why I keep picking up pink powders. I've now realized that it's the loose form of pink powders that doesn't really work out with me, because the 2 that I have that I love are the Westman Atelier and the Tower 28, and both of them are in pink shades, and they're a pressed formula, and I think those are beautiful. But every one that I've tried in a loose formula, I always feel like it darkens. But speaking of Patrick Ta, I'm pretty sure I can use this for transition blush if I ever want to attempt that look. And I just want to touch on that quickly. I know I said I don't really like drama, or I don't like to engage with drama, but it's not so much the drama part. I went to makeup school in 2003. I think it was 2003. We learned that back then. I'm just saying that there's no way that someone in current time could have created a technique that already existed back then. And I'm sure it even existed prior to that. But again, all that to say, I'm not taking sides. Like I said, I don't want to engage. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't know Patrick Ta personally, so I don't like to speak ill of people that I don't know personally. But yeah, not really cool what went down, how it went down, and all that stuff. But let's carry on. These blushes I really like. Again, this area, I don't think it was a blush formula issue. I don't really know what it is. Sometimes if I don't blend out my concealer well enough in this corner, it catches or something like that. But again, all of these products I'm going to play with again. I'm going to try multiple ways, but I'm happy with the shades, that's for sure. I really enjoy this lip liner actually. It goes on easy. I like the really cool tone shade of it. This felt really nice on lips. Also happy with these 2 lip glosses. I'm so sorry that I have no more information on this guy. But like I said, this formula is a favorite of mine. It's very comfortable and it's not goopy at all. And I like this shade. I think this is my 3rd shade in this formula. Oh, one more new thing that I want to mention. I didn't use it today because it's not really a setting spray. This is the One Size Oil Sucker Liquid Blotting Paper Spray. I got this a few weeks ago and I've used it a few times in between clients and it really does work. It's actually fabulous. Doesn't disrupt your makeup. You just do a quick spray and you're oil free again. Love, love, love this one. Okay, I think that's it. So now we've come to the end of this video. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your day to hang out with me, to check out some new to me products, to catch up on life. As usual, I'd love to hear your thoughts on any of the products or anything that we talked about today. I love it when you guys interact with me. I appreciate you all so much and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Or if it happens to be nighttime for you, I truly hope you get a good night's rest. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Oh, ha, ha.